Hello there, it is r/Yubs here with another video, and I am sorry that they've not been consistent. I'm just changing a lot of things up with the name, and also I'm going to do a lot more of different things like Pro Revenge and I forgot what the other revenge one's called. Not my problem. And the first one we have is Relentlessly Bully Me Jerk. Let thou social life burn. And I just woke up, so I'm tired, so if you make mistakes, not my problem. So this is my first post. I'm going to keep it brief because I'm quite tired. But M equals me, P equals sociopath, A equals awesome friend. That was psychopath. I read that wrong. So this story was over the course of like 2 years. It all started in 9th grade, my first year of high school. I was taking computer science, and I loved this class as it was easy and fun. We'd all be able to do just whatever we wanted in the class. I still got all my work done. One day of the third month, enter psychopath. Dun dun dun. Psychopath was a very, very seemingly nice guy. He was tall and had blue shades. He and I started talking about something, don't remember and such. Well, a week later, I forgot about talking to the guy, and I am chasing after my friend. Don't remember why. All of a sudden, I run past the guy who stops me and talks to me. I was in a rush, but the guy seemed really cool. He asked where my friends and I hang for lunch. Big mistake. He starts hanging out with us every day. By second semester, none of my old friends sit with me because of psychopath. They're scared of him. I was stupid and didn't know why anyone would be scared of psychopath. But as time went on, I became more aware of his weird things. He would on several occasions threaten me. Threatened my family and talk about his army and his gangs. And how Hitler was right. Jesus. I came to the realization that this guy was a bit nuts. But I'm a bit forgiving, and so I gave him the benefit of the doubt. What the fuck is wrong with me? Anyways, next semester occurs and I get a new computer partner. Hey, awesome friend! Psychopath walks up to me on the regular and shit. Talks to me like a 5-year-old who broke something and sees this. Long and short of it, it brought my doubts to the surface, and it made me realize what an enterant, pansy-ass, fruit fuck psychopath really is. Closer it. Me and him try to help get me out of a toxic relationship. The first time, I got really, really tired. But the thing is, P is a psychopath, as he convinced bears to fly if he wanted. So he manipulates me into forgiving him for this shit. But then one day, he goes off and for something, threatens to hang me. Dip my corpse in acid and pets me like a dog. At this point, I was done. Alone, he walks up to me and I yell at him with all my hell. After this day, he finally got the memo. We are through, and he leaves me alone. He promises. Getting rid of psychopaths was like Spider-Man removing the symbiote in Spider-Man 3. Good riddance, I thought. Flash to 10th grade, I feel hardened, experienced, and one of my child friends is now a freshman in my school. However, psychopath comes up every lunch, hangs around my group, and taunts me for the entirety of lunch every day. Me and my groups are pissed, but we want peace. But he denies this. Keep in mind he is breaking his part of the oath by constantly talking to me. At one point, I broke out crying and slapped him. I'm quite skinny, so it doesn't hurt. He starts to smile, this horribly sinister smile. He and his group start to walk up to me on the regular now, and he taunts me and continues to harass me. I can't even hold a decent conversation with one of my friends without this evil kid and his lackey coming up in to break me. The worst thing is, I can't touch him. He won't let me because I slapped him. Then you note he has autism, but so do I. So I did not care. He tells me, motherfucker, if you go to the dean, you will be the one suspended. You will be expelled. Then on Club Rush, I cracked. I can't anymore. This bullying, this extreme mental abuse, it reached its point. And his friends walk up to me, and I kick him in the leg, to which he mockingly falls over and says, wow, he kicked me. I better tell someone. He says this with the same sinister smile from before. It is then that I know I can't. I yell at him. I say the most baddest thing I could think of. Time to pay, psychopath. You think you're so godly? Oh, I know so. Well, I have to destroy my life to decimate yours, then it's time it all to end. Let me see what the dean says. Long story short, I go into her office, write a full 4 pages on the son of a bitch, and get him in serious trouble. She lets me off the hook as I lash out in self-defense. Bless her soul. I get this whole equivalent to a restraining order, put out on psychopath. Finally. To add themselves to the wound, his lackeys look up to me as an example, then starts abusing them to fill my void. Uh-oh. They all leave him. All of them. They talk to me, and I totally understand everything perfectly. 2 of his former pals have become 2 of my very good friends, with one helping me out on personal projects. They all tell me how sick he is, and every time I see him walking by, alone, his social life is ruined. I smile sinister, but feel good smile. Okay, this kid is kind of a genius. I don't know I don't know, people who watch this are probably pretty young, and some of them are people I know, but if you don't have a social life, you're kind of fucked because you can get very lonely. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But, yeah, it's kind of fucked up. But this guy's a psychopath, and they both have autism, so I don't know how that works at all, but, yeah. Okay, I didn't have a good thing to say about the last one, because, I'm tired. I don't care. Okay, but the next one we have, I'll try to come up with a better one. Wife cheats on her husband, abuses their child, and lies in court. Enjoy not having your kids anymore. Good day, you know the deal. English, not first language, mobile, yada yada. It's my first post, so be gentle, please. For cast, we have Mom, empty human being. S, sister, me, and my dad. I have no concrete dialogue for the story since it happened about 4 years ago, and I pretty much want to forget about it. Makes sense? Now some background. My mother's not exactly the best person in the world. She used to abuse me and my sister both, physically and mentally. Mostly mentally. Good. Avoid responsibilities at home, and she also decided to cheat on my dad with several men around 13 years ago and never stopped. When my father discovered this, he simply stopped sleeping in the same room and stopped being affectionate towards her. He stayed with her for us, sister and I, and decided to raise us basically alone since Mom was always outside with her partners. My mother used to simply arrive home to eat, sleep, and hurt me or my sister. Jesus. The rest of my day she claimed to be working overtime. However, all the money she made was kept for herself. And my father had a real overtime to take care of us and was tired of not getting any help. Here's where my dad's revenge plan starts. He stayed quiet for a long time, managing work and parenting very well. But in the meantime, he was collecting all the evidence he could about my mom cheating, as well as evidence of abuse towards sister and I. And he also kept supporting us, teaching us how to stand up for herself and each other, helping us understand how bad Mom's behavior was, and we don't need to justify her bad treatment just for being out our mother. He kept being the best person he could for about 10 years until sister and I were old enough to testify in court. Then he immediately asked for divorce and got it very easily since Mom kept lying about how he was abusing me and my children. But of course, he had proof of her cheating and being the abuser, so he got divorced. But the plan did end there, since he wanted us to live with him. My dad left our house immediately after the divorce, and 2 weeks later, I moved with him. My sister stayed with my mom. Let's skip some months until the court date to discuss the kids' custody. About 6 months prior, my mother lied about me living with her so she could get that sweet child support check. But when the court date arrived, sister and me testified against her, explained how bad of a mother she was, etc. And I said that I had been living with my dad for months, contrary to what my mother had said. Of course, she wanted to play the victim with lies, which we refuted. The judge was not having it, and told her that she needed to stop lying because she was being fired for lying to a judicial authority. Of course, she lost her custody, and she was forced to return the child support money to us. Now she lives alone, and sometimes tries to play the forgive me, how I know I did wrong card with us, only asked for money right after, but none of us want to see her again. Not exactly a massive, sweet and evil revenge, but after he told me about my dad, about his sub, he told me I should post a story. I hope it actually belongs in here. The child support thing in my country, when parents divorce, it's the other parent who gives the money to the one with custody of the children. We call that money child support. But in case where both parents would have only one child at their care, they get nothing from each other. My mom said that she had both of us to get money from my dad, but that she was a lie. Okay, I know this isn't America, so this doesn't apply to them, but I know in America and a lot of other countries, you can testify at whatever age, and that kind of sucks. But even if they were abusing the kids, he could have been able to divorce her and get her arrested and completely destroy and ruin her life, because that's child abuse and child neglect. But it's not in America, so I don't know the rules. That sucks. She's a horrible person, horrible mother. She should still go to jail. Okay. Drive like an asshole, enjoy your wreck truck. Obligatory mobile user, sorry for the formatting shit. TLDR at the bottom. This is not my story, but rather my grandfather's. A little background. My grandfather has a very short fuse when it comes to dealing with other people's bullshit. He's sort of mellowed out as he's gotten older, but when he was younger, I've been told his temper was legendary. At the time of this story, my grandfather was living on a small farm next to his house, a raised levee that was made of dirt and covered in loose gravel. The levee formed a backwards C shape as it went by his house, since it followed the path of the river, with his house on the opposite curve. This, along with the trees on both sides of the road, created a blind curve in the road that will be important later. During harvest season, numerous tracks would drive past his house to it and from the various farms in the area to pick up produce and take it where it needed to go. A problem arose, however, when a truck driver started ignoring the speed limit, 10 to 15 miles per hour, and going too fast around the ore-fermented curve. The speeding caused the trucks to throw rocks, gravel, and accumulate clouds of dust down on my grandfather's house on a daily basis. Naturally, this was quite annoying, as his backyard was getting covered in dust, and the rear of his house was being constantly peppered by rocks. First, he tried speaking to the truck drivers themselves, which went nowhere, and then he tried talking to the owners of the trucking company, which didn't do anything either. He even put up homemade signs on a stretch of the road asking the trucks to slow down, but it was to no avail. At this point, my grandfather realized that there was nothing to do something more proactive to get their attention. So one night, he got his tractor out with a bulldozer blade on the front, scraped up some dirt, and built a homemade speed bump just around the blind curve of the road. And I didn't mean a modern, mostly flat speed bump either. 3 to 4 inches tall. By his own estimation, this thing was about 8 to 10 inches in the center, so more like a small mound. To top it all off, it was perfectly positioned so that by the time the driver saw it, it'd be way too late to even try and slow down. He didn't even have to wait long to see the results. The very next morning, he was sitting in the kitchen when he heard a loud crashing noise outside. Upon investigating, he found a truck that had fallen right into his trap. It had driven around the curve going way too fast, hit the mountain full speed, lost control, and driven straight off into the 25-foot levee into a giant olive tree. This completely wrecked the truck as the tree hadn't budged at all with the impact. The driver, though stunned by the accident, was mostly unharmed and proceeded to have a new asshole ripped by my father over his speeding. As you can imagine, there was no speeding from those truckers ever again. The cherry on top was that the company that owned the trucks actually had to pay him to use his tractor to pull the truck back onto the road, as the area was too far from town for any tow trucks to come out, and no one else in the area had a big enough tractor. Holy crap, this guy is actually a legend. Like, he probably cost this company so much money just from that one truck. Those trucks, I looked it up actually, cost around $45,000 to $200,000. That's just the truck itself. That's not even, the big container on the back of it. He just cost this company so much money. And if this is his grandfather, this is probably in the 1980s or 90s. So that's way much money there. And Jesus, what an absolute legend. Okay, guys, these pro revenges weren't amazing. I'm sorry. They were short. I'm tired. Didn't really want to make a video. But I will find good ones, and they will probably be a lot longer. And I'm sorry. But that's what I have to do. So, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, leave a like on the like button and subscribe. That helps out. Just do it. It's a good idea. Thanks for watching.